electric current that points to the direction. Ang imong nga thumb that points to the direction of your electric current. And ang imong nga the rest of the four fingers that points to the direction o paglibot sa imong nga magnetic field. Okay, can you see it? Ang arrow na balaw. Di ba yung mga fingers ga point sa this direction? So therefore, gapalibot mo na da ang imong nga magnetic field. So kung ipasulion mo naman, manaog naman ang thumb, amo man gyapon. The four fingers will determine the direction of the magnetic field. Okay? Questions? So aside from thumb rule, you also have your Fleming's right hand rule, which we will discuss later. But before that, do you have any questions? Sige, next. Clip, please read Electromagnets. Go.
Electromagnets. Arranging wire in a coil and running a current through produces a magnetic field that looks a lot like a bar magnet, called an electromagnet. Putting a real magnet inside can shove the magnet back and forth, depending on current direction, called a solenoid.
Okay, thank you, Cliff. So for sure, you have tried na making or constructing a simple electromagnet. Correct? Nakobra ka mo when you were in your elementary years. Di ba amo na siya ang nail na giputos nyo sa copper wire. Then ang both ends ng copper wire gitakod nyo sa battery. Nakobra ka mo na sa una. Yes. So that is your simple electromagnet. And the coil of wire or the copper wire is also known as the solenoid. So nga why is it that an electromagnet generates a magnetic field? Correct? O may magnet pero may ano lang, may bar of, may battery lang. Because electricity can induce a magnetic field. A moving electric current, according to the law of electromagnetic induction, can produce a magnetic field. So later on, you will be acquainted to the formula Faraday's law of induction, maybe next week, to explain further nga mo na siya. But as you can see here, kita niyo ng coil, maglabay na kurente, there will be a magnetic flux. And that magnetic flux causes the generation of the magnetic field, which is dependent to the current. Of course, the greater the current, the more mo ginadamo ang battery, the stronger is the magnetic field. Okay? So we know naman that ng opposite poles attract and same poles repel. So north attracts south, south attract north. Kung north kog north, mapalayo ay. Okay, so remember that opposites attract. Do we have something we call as a monopole? Is it possible nga may monopole? Nga isa kang magnet nga one pole lang, nga north lang or south lang. Di ba when you break a magnet, di ba meron na magnet nga bar magnet nga may red kag white to indicate nga north and south. Kung balion mo na siya, ang north lang gina sa dayon. Di ba hindi? It will create two smaller magnets, correct? But scientists are actually now trying to study it further na regarding to the discovery of monopoles because it is important ng philosophical implication, even application in physics. Okay? According to them, it will lead to the existence of the multiverse, ang mga monopole. But of course, we will know. So that is induced current. Atong ginagawa ko gina sa electromagnets, and yung tawag ito nga induced magnetic field because the current induces a magnetic field or generates a magnetic field. This time, a magnetic field induces a electric current. That is according to Faraday's law. So meaning, the next part of the story is that a changing magnetic field produces an electric current. Di ba ginaya sa electromagnet, it is a changing current produces a magnetic field. This time, a changing magnetic field produces an electric current. So just like, for example, you have your galvanometer, amo ng galvanometer, so kada giyo mo na sa imong bar magnet, the needle or the red part will be deflected depending on the polarity of the magnet. So more of this will be presented later on as I show you the video explaining Faraday's law. But so far, do you have any questions? Questions, clarifications? None. Okay, just raise your hand if you have any questions because I am limiting my view right now. Kaya ga-record ko sa atong presentation para mamakitaan sa aton nga modular class. So for the next trivia, what do you call this first electromagnetic generator built by Michael Faraday in 1831? Okay, 10. Group 2, Joanna.
Faraday disc,
Correct.
sir.
That is the Faraday disc. It is one of the first electromagnetic generator. So actually, you can make your own generator with simple materials. Galing lang kayo because of the limited ng classroom setup. We cannot do it right now. But ang pinaka-mobra nyo lang gano'ng hapos, that is your electric motor and your electromagnet. So hopefully, nang we can perform an experiment that one, which you can do individually lang. So I'll just send more details on that later on. So group 2 got the correct answer. So group 1, 1, group 2, 2. Alright. So later on, they were able to further prove that there is an electromagnetic connection. So ang manasang ba ko gina, a changing magnetic field produces an electric field, and a changing electric field produces a magnetic field. And EM fields can produce forces on charges. And when they move at a rapid rate or accelerating rate, we call them, they produce electromagnetic waves or what we call as radiation. Di ba sa EM spectrum, correct, na-discuss na no EM spectrum, amo na sa class ang EM spectrum, yung tawag na EM spectrum because they both have an electric field and a magnetic field. Light is an electromagnetic wave, correct? So meaning light has an electric field and a magnetic field. The same as inyong radio wave, gamma rays, visible light, so on and so forth. And they both transfer or transport energy, correct? Ano nga formula sa electromagnetic spectrum nag-determine ang amount of energy present in that particular ng wave? Do you remember? By the way, before that, what is the relationship between wavelength and frequency of an EM wave? Anyone? What is the relationship between the wavelength and the frequency of a wave, of an EM wave? EM means electromagnetic wave. Sige, Ben, do you remember? Sa electromagnetic spectrum when you were in grade 8. Sige, I'll ask somebody, nag-raise na lang hand, na sino pa nabatian? Joanna.
Sir, the higher the frequency, sir, the shorter the wavelength.
Correct. So the greater the frequency, the shorter the wavelength. Because di ba frequency na determines the vibration. So kung taas frequency, grabing vibration, gagmay ang wavelengths ng imong wave. That's why among the EM spectrum, what has the greatest frequency? What wave contains or has the greatest frequency? Gianna.
What, sir?
Sa EM spectrum, ano nga wave ang may highest frequency? That is your?
Gamma rays, sir.
Correct. That is your gamma rays. Pinakapunta. While ang lowest, of course, ang inyong radio waves. That's why gamma rays are the most penetrating because it also contains greatest amount of energy. Di ba the formula for that is E equals to HF, where E is the energy, H is Planck's constant, F is frequency. So therefore, the greater the frequency, the greater the energy. Okay, that's why gamma ray is the most penetrating and it can be ng cancer producing man, cancer ng carcinogen man, sila sa ultraviolet waves. Okay, kasi sila man ang pinaka-hindi safe because they can alter the DNA composition or the DNA structure of an organism. So that's why ang mga tabo kay Incredible Hulk sa niguan sa sang gamma rays na Incredible Hulk sa. Okay, so maybe you can try that one. Basta magka superpowers ka mo. So as I've said, this is the Fleming's right-hand rule. May malis isang left-hand rule for electric motor. Usually ang right-hand rule for generators. So ano naman ni saya? Ang imong nga thumb or the motion or the force, direction of force will also determine the direction of the magnetic field and the current. For example, na-follow ta ang inyong you try to raise your hand and raise your thumb by following the figure shown. So kung ang thumb mo point upwards, your index finger points to the direction of the magnetic field, while your middle finger points to the direction of the current. Okay? So be sure that the three of them are nang perpendicular to each other. So for example, ang imo naman nga thumb ma-point naman sa left. Kung ipa-left mo ang imo nga thumb facing you, yung mga palm facing you. So pa left, di ba pa west na ang imong force? Pag di naman ang magnetic field, padalom, correct? Pag di naman ang current, pakadto sa imo, going towards you. So that is Fleming's right-hand rule. That is for the generator. But when it comes to electric motor, we use the Fleming's left-hand rule. So later on, maybe we can try na making a simple electric motor and electromagnet. Kamong bala, magpili kung nando ang inyong imuon. Maybe mo na ng project ko sa inyo. That's on. Okay? Questions? I'll just construct the criteria for the project. Questions? None. Sige, let's move on. Okay? So, ang amo to siyang gina-discuss again na they follow what we call as the principle or the law of electromagnetic induction. Okay? So, sulit lang niya. So, when you have a moving magnetic field, you create a current. And when you have a moving current, you create a magnetic field. And we call this phenomenon as electromagnetic induction. Okay? So, let's have our next trivia. Sino na? Okay? He was the first to create a machine that is also known as an electrostatic generator. Who is he? Okay, group 1. Then again, Gio, what's the answer? Gio. Gio. Gio here. Okay, kung wala, 10 seconds, Gio. 10, 9. Gio. What's the answer? Gio. Group 1. Again, we see KGO, please chat na lang your answer. Di ka pati yun? Okay, correct. The answer is Otto von Guericke. So group 1 got 2 points. Group 2 got 2 points. Okay, let's move on. Naka-off ako ng mic din na. So some example or the main application for this one is of course your maglev or the magnetic levitation, which make use of ng disk drive. So as you can see, tawag sa magnetic levitation because the train literally levitates from the railing. So one example of this is the Shinkansen bullet train, which can travel at around 200 kilometers per hour. Doon mo na lang yung speed mo, sigasig. So pwede ka to San Carlos in just 1 hour by riding this train, for example. So, can anyone tell me the advantage of maglev? Why is it nga dasig ang train because of maglev? What makes it so fast? Hello everyone, can you hear me? Nga disco? Disco. Clip, pati yun ka?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can anyone na explain nga dasig ang maglev? What makes it so fast? Why is it that maglev trains are fast? Yes, Clip.
Less friction, sir, from the rails, sir. Ang train sa rails, mas less ang friction, sir. Mas elastic, mas smooth.
Again, Clip, medyo choppy ka. Or sakon lang din. Louder, Clip. Clip.
Mas lesser ang friction, sir, between the train, sir, and the railways.
Correct. Less ang friction. You said something about friction. So ano kung less friction? What will happen to the movement of the train?
Mas dasig ang acceleration.
So kung less friction, di ba friction goes opposite to the direction of motion? So meaning, because wala contact, wala gabaid ang imong nga train, wala man na roida sa imong nga railings, wala mega pa slow down sa imong nga train. So that's why the train can travel very very fast because of the absence of friction. And of course, because there is no friction, there is no heat. Wala sang heat loss, wala energy loss. So all of the mechanical energy is, na let's say, do ka pure sa nga mechanical energy, nga gagiyo lang gid. Okay? Di ba friction, heat is produced because of friction man. When you rub your hand, di ba may init nga gaka-produce? That is because of friction, the transfer of energy. Okay? So some more applications of ng maglev or EM induction is of course number 1, the backup powers or the generators. The pop concerts, events, and exhibitions, ang inyo nga mga speakers, ano na mga gadgets, and of course the outdoor catering facilities, ang ilan nga mga microwaves, anything that make use of radiation. Okay? So when there's radiation, there is electromagnetic induction at work. Oh, wait lang din. Questions? Questions so far? None? Sige. Next trivia. O, kamo na lang na read and answer. What do you call this machine? Spell, complete answer, no abbreviations. Go. Okay, group 2, Joanna.
Sir? Magnetic resonance imaging machine,
Correct.
sir.
That is your magnetic resonance imaging. So group 2 got the correct answer. So group 2 is 3 points. So magnetic resonance imaging make use of the vibration of your hydrogen atoms, and this vibration nang they emit radio waves that are analyzed to produce a map of your insights. Do ka sonar na isang application, di ba radio waves are also used mga echo na blacklas para mag-determine, mag-mapping sa seafloor that make use of echo to create ng images. So, ano sa inyo nga MRI, sila sa CT scan, PET scan. Sino kagi na MRI? Clip na MRI ka na, no? Wala pa. Try nyo kalas mag-MRI. Then, nabalan ako kung nami isa. Okay, try ko man. Okay, so that is your magnetic resonance imaging or MRI. Questions? Do you have any questions or clarifications? None? So I'll be showing you a video right now about electromagnetic induction. Marami sa YouTube. But after the video, I'll be asking somebody to summarize or explain the video. Wait lang again. Class, can you hear the video? Can you see and hear the video? Okay. So please watch the video and I'll be asking your summary later on. That is Faraday.
Hello. Oh. Oh. Huh?
So muna siya ang producing electric current will also produce a magnetic field. Galvanometer that determines the direction of the electric current. So makalaman sa kung naka-deflect ang iyong mga needle. So remember, there must be motion. Kung walang motion, wala deflection ng needle. happens when it reverses the polarity of the magnet. The faster the motion, the greater the rate of induced current. That is electromagnetic induction. Okay, so okay, Gianna. Say can somebody please summarize the video? What have you learned after watching the video? What is electromagnetic induction in simple terms? Anyone? So that we can dismiss Diana. Wants to volunteer to explain EM induction? Anyone? Sige, I'll be asking somebody. Leia, what is EM induction? Leia, are you there? Sige, I'll ask Anne na lang Anne, please help Leia. What's EM induction based on the video?
Sir, electromagnetic induction is the production of electric current across a conductor when exposed to a changing magnetic field.
Okay.
Sir.
So in the same manner, it is also a production of a magnetic field when there's a change in electrical on the electric field. So remember, the key term change. Okay? So later on, sa next na lesson, I'll be introducing ng Faraday's law of induction ng formula so that you can see the relationship between EM in terms of its formula na nga form. Okay, questions? None. So I'll just give the quiz next week na lang. Deadline tapos ang quiz will be on Friday. So again, the quiz will only take 10 items. We'll only have 10 items. So please, you have to answer it until Friday. If possible, answer it. Okay, I cannot solve the grades. Hindi ko kapasa grades sa inyong mga advisors if may mga kulang. Kaya gadoble ako ng lubrahon. Okay, usually mag-sum ako grades, kinatingob ko na siya. Dapat as much possible like 99-95% sa inyo complete on outputs, or else bulag ko may record dako chance nyo bala maka 100 nga grade sa akon nga subject, even ang grade 9 sa research nga grabing karan-karan ga 100 ang grado by simply submitting outputs even if hindi pa na siya perfect. Okay? Because I'm generous man. Especially when there are games or activities, mga contests. So please join gid. Okay? Now, you contribute as much as you can. Kaya ako na lang ang bala sa mga additional points, mag-excuse. Okay, wala ka mo dapat, ikaw problema. As long as you can pass, and as long as you can inform me why you can't pass on the specified deadline. Okay, so almost time. 3:26 questions. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? So there are no questions. I'll just upload this video again after ko record. I-convert ko pa na siya dami para magamay ang file size. Upload ko lang po sa YouTube so that you can review and you'll be ready for the quiz next week. Okay? So for the project, I'll just construct na lang danay the criteria. I-introduce ko danay sa inyo and i-ensure ko danay na feasible ang project. Okay? Because this will involve ng buying batteries, wire, magnets. But of course, usually mga muna nga bagay, ari man sino palibot. Okay, di ba? Ang battery nyo, pwede nyo ba nabukon ang inyong panganan? Wire ng battery, ang wire nyo, ang wirings ang inyong laptop, DCI nyo lang, kuha nyo lang sa copper wire. Okay, i-introduce ko lang yapon sa president sa kung kaya manimo brang project within the given given quarter nga within 1 month. So, no further questions. Goodbye, Curie. Thank you. Goodbye, Curie.
Thank you and goodbye, sir.
Thank you and goodbye, sir.
Thank you and goodbye, sir.
Thank you. Goodbye, sir.